Okay, students, welcome back. We're here where we got our data that we needed. Again, you're going to have some X factor on your X-axis and some Y factor on your Y-axis, which is your Y factor is always going to be GDP percentage growth, or you can do GNI percentage growth. It's the same thing. Just remember, this is all in local currency units, or LCU, for both of these. You can't do one in local and one in constant currency. Okay, again, I don't like this formatting, so I'm going to go here, pick up my paintbrush, and paint these all as percentage with the one extra decimal. Okay, I'm ready to make my graph. So I'm just going to take this information here with the titles. I'm going to go to Insert. Notice I found this graph under the Insert tab. I found the scatter graph. It's a bunch of dots, and I'm just going to pick that. Okay, it's kind of in the way, so I'm moving it to the right. You see, I just click and drag some edge of it and go to the right. Okay, the last step is we need to know the relationship between these two things. They're both rising positively together, except for a couple of weird points way out of there, but they seem to form a line. I need this to calculate the line. So I'm going to go to any dot, right click, and add line. This is a little different in the Mac, so you may have to fish around for it in the Mac a little bit. And it's already set for linear. I'm going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to display the two equations. Okay? They should already be displayed. So I'm going to close this trend line, and there they are. Now I'm going to click on, you see, if I click on the two equations, I get a box. I'm going to click on the top of the box, move it here, and so that your professor can see very clearly, I'm going to go back to my, highlight them, go back to my Home tab, and I go bold and 12 font, okay? So now this is saying, this means that YY, remember my Y is my GDP, is going to go up 44%, 43.49 is 43.5 is 44%. For every one, what did I say, capital, every 1% capital that I put in X. So if I put a 1 in my capital, 1 in my X, it's going to grow GDP or products or sales by 43% of that, of the 1%. So this is the difference between the two. This is the starting point. Forget about that. R squared, it has to be more than 15 or 20%, minimum 12%, which says how many of the dots are along the line. R is for how reliable this equation is. It's called correlation coefficient, but you don't need to know that. It's for how reliable this is. In other words, how many dots are very, very near to the line. And you see about half the dots are almost on the line, and then the other half are kind of out of there a little bit. They're a little bit very far or a little bit far, but about half the dots are on the line. So this 43% relationship, it's good half the time, 54% of the time. And that's it. You've done your graph. Now you need to find 3 reasons from the class why GDP is affected by capital. Okay, you've learned your lesson. Don't forget to save your file. And next week, we'll talk about the project theories. Good night.